What's up, Juventini? Alberto here. Got all your Juve news, all right. The latest on Allegri and Motta, what could be happening, and the tune slightly changing around Thiago Motta's news, but something we should have expected. We're going to tackle it all right now. A list with a bold claim from one journalist as to who is going to be outgoing Juventus this summer, and then Kesa and his contract renewal with Juve at a stalemate. All that and some more rumors about targets that Juve is looking at. So like the video, subscribe to the channel. This is the AJC. Let's rock. And before we get to today's news, yesterday's news, we had a statement or claim made by Gazzetta there, and it ended up being mistranslated by our team. All right. So we learn in these situations, all right, and these errors. Number one, we are human. We will make mistakes, and we apologize, and we took full accountability. Number two, though, all right, that we learned is that even 3 out of 4 translators getting it right, still, if it seems outlandish, my team is going to be double checking and triple checking, all right? But now, what we also learned is that those that are out there that just can't wait for the AJC's downfall and keep looking for every minute little error here and there to pounce on, they're still out there, everybody. And sadly, they're using some bigger accounts around the Juve community to still try and come down on old Alberto and the team. But you know what? That's fine. And I actually thank all of you because all you do is fuel us even more. We ain't going anywhere, baby. All right? So there's 2 things you could do about it. Nothing and like it. All right, now let's get to the news, everybody. Wendell is in Juve's sights, apparently. So the 30-year-old Porto left back is in Juve's sights, and they've scouted him as recently as last Saturday night as a replacement for Alexandro, and his contract expires in 2025. So it could present this opportunity for Juventus to strike on a decent amount of funds. But the whole thing in the background here is something that I also made a short about recently, and that's Thiago Giallo. And getting the weird reports about Thiago Giallo, I thought he was brought in to be a versatile replacement to Alexandro, but we are getting a lot of mixed signals about Thiago Giallo. Hopefully, in the remaining games, we can actually get some minutes for him and whatnot, but there's even been a report from Fabiana Della Valle, which I addressed in the short, about him going on a loan to start next season, and that is just bizarre any way you slice it, and I can't see it happening. If we can't get this guy prepped through a summer camp with the team, an entire summer, then there is a bigger problem at hand. So that's one to follow. But Wendell is apparently in Juve's sights. Goretzka continues to be monitored apparently by Juventus, and he is open to leaving Bayern. However, it doesn't seem like anything that can come down, as there's a 40 million euro valuation on Goretzka, 17 million euro salary, and it just seems like there's no way Juventus is going to make this happen. And I'll be quite honest, from my perspective, this rumor does nothing for me, and Goretzka just simply does nothing for me in terms of our team and boosting of what we need. So you guys know the drill, though. Let me know what you think on Goretzka in the comments. Georgino, rumors will continue to swirl, and there are rumors suggesting he wants to return to Serie A if he cannot find a renewal where he is currently at. Mirko Di Natale, however, says there have been 0 contacts with Juventus thus far, all right? But the Georgino rumors will continue, no doubt, from here on out, depending on what happens with that renewal, all right? Now, Mirko Di Natale also adds in, he confirms the plans we heard yesterday about Juve looking to bring in 2 midfielders from 60 to 70 million euro total sum. He has the names as follows. He does confirm there's been concrete approaches from Giuntoli on Lewis Ferguson, all right? Coop Mainers, Ederson, and Samardzic are the other names to follow. Those are the 4 main names according to Mirko Di Natale, all right? So again, all we can do is hurry up and wait, but he does confirm that plan we heard yesterday is very much what they're looking at to accomplish in the summer. Kostic, some reports stating that he has been unhappy at Juventus this season. Well, I'm sorry, my friend, but we have been largely unhappy with your performances, all right? But all signs are pointing to a break this summer. There has been Saudi interest in the player. He is one of those players that is most likely set to leave Juventus this summer. Bremer, All signs are pointing that Man U is definitely going to come to the table with an offer. In Italy, there's been no reports about a release clause. In England, they keep talking about this 55 million euro release clause. But Mirko Di Natale said no confirmation on a release clause from Juventus. They'll have to step up to the plate. It is being said Manchester United will offer up 60 to 70 million euros for Gleison Bremer. I would hope Juventus stands firm on that and at least gets a very, very large number to the tune of what the Premier League has inflated prices to. All right, so they've kind of set the tone on where the prices should be at. For me, Bremer, you gotta be around that 110 mark. All right, so let's see what happens there. Now, Giovanni Albanese brings us news on Caviglia saying that he will be sold outright this summer, all right? And this is not lost in any type of translation or anything. He is flat out saying Hans Nicolucci Caviglia will be sold outright. How do you feel about that? Hit me in the comments. He continues that Miretti, all right, after not impressing in another second season with Juventus, will be evaluated in the summer, but he is most likely to leave as well. But he did not state being sold or loaned, just said he is most likely to leave in the summer. For McKennie and a list of other players, Vlahovic and Kesa on contract renewals. McKennie apparently did not like the proposal that came in from Juventus, all right? And they're going to have to see if an agreement can be found. If not, he most likely could be put on the market. Vlahovic, the parties look like they are doing everything possible to find an agreement, and an agreement should come. His agent remained in Turin throughout the entire international break, and they're talking about bonuses and clauses to be inserted to make the player happy while still bringing annual costs down overall for Juventus. All right, so look for that one to potentially get finalized. For Chiesa, La Stampa, all right, reports that he and the club are at a complete stalemate. All right. And if no agreement found, obviously, before Euros, he's probably going to hit the market. But we have to wait and see, because this one has had so much news around it, all right, that we have heard he is going to take his chances on himself at the Euros, see what type of other opportunities present itself for Federico Chiesa. We've heard it's just a matter of funds. He just needs a little bit more money from the team to finalize. We've also heard that in the background, there's been a gentleman's agreement that he will not leave the club on a free after next season. It's all up in the air. We have to just hurry up and wait. But what do you want to see done with Chiesa? Because meanwhile, Ravanelli came in hot on him yesterday, talking about Sule and Yildiz being the future of Juventus, and he would rather get rid of Chiesa and keep those two around. Do you feel the same? Because I'm going to be quite honest. If it's up to me, I'm still going to move Sule first. And I talked about this. I still need, if we were to keep Sule and Yildiz around and sell Kesa, I need somebody coming in that's got that Champions League experience, that's played in a major national tournament and done well in it. Like, I'm going to need somebody big. I don't want it all to fall on these young guys' shoulders, because I still think they need room to grow. And I don't want them to be pulled in and just simply been put, hey, you are the guys now. Yildiz already talk about taking the number 10. No, for me, you cannot build a team on hopes and dreams. There is potential there, but it may not hit. I need some guarantees, especially if we're going to be back in Champions League, playing in a Club World Cup. We need to bolster the team properly. So for Sule and my whole thought process, it's exactly that. Are we going to regret it? But when? 4 years down the road? I need guys ready now at Juventus. We need to turn things around. I'm growing impatient. I need guys ready now. I don't want to wait on what could be 4 years, 5 years down the road. No, that's not good enough for Juventus. Budget situations and all that might just make it that it's the wrong timing for some of these youngsters, because we can't keep them all. And I stand firm. Yildiz has to stay around, and Huijsen for me has to stay around. Outside of that, I am open to dealing. Agree, disagree? I know I'm probably going to be in the minority. Hit me in the comments, everybody, all right? And last, we're going to finish off with Allegri and Motta. So, Tuttosport reports that it has not been stated or anything on where Juve's stance is on Allegri. Obviously, there have been no signs that they are going to part ways with Allegri. However, Tuttosport says that Motta is the guy should Allegri leave Juventus this summer. That Motta is that guy in line. But the tune around Motta is starting to change because it is being finally reported, something that I've thought about for quite some time. And on the Calcio review, I spoke about a lot, that how can we rule out that if Bologna makes Champions League, he wouldn't stay and guide the team into that? And those are the reports we find today, that Motta may not necessarily leave. And there is the opportunity for him to stay. He has not said anything to Bologna about wanting to leave up until this point. But he has stated to them the interest and the discussions and teams reaching out to him, to Bologna. So this is going to be very, very interesting to follow, but apparently we can't rule out him staying. So a lot of you that don't want Conte want Motta. Let's say Motta decides he wants to stay. Then do you take Conte or do you stick with Max? Who else would you like to see that is realistic, as Motta presented a realistic option? Let me know in the comments, because that wraps up your news update. Guys, I can't wait to mix it up with you on today's news. A lot in there to kind of process and digest. Let's mix it up. Don't forget to like the video, share the content, and I will see you tomorrow on another update. As always, fino alla fine, forza Juve, ciao tutti.